My name is Christy Gibson. I'm from Nassau, Bahamas, and I am a fourth-year graduate student. My major is biogeochemistry, and my interdisciplinary concentration is ecological sciences and engineering. I got interested in the research that I'm doing because I had a very mixed academic background. So my bachelor's degree was in chemistry and my master's degree in plant and soil science. So I was looking for a program that would basically combine the skills that I learned in both. I think interdisciplinary research allows scientists and scholars from all disciplines to get together to give their perspective and find a way to integrate their research. So it's really important that you call the right people for the right things. So if you're going somewhere, maybe in the Amazon, where you might meet indigenous people, I think it's important for you to have an anthropologist or a social scientist because they're going to be better at communicating or understanding the culture than a scientist. Unless that scientist just so happens to be an anthropologist too, which could happen. But I think that's very important, and you obviously need the geological surveyors if you're doing that, if you're like maybe working along a fault line, I don't know. So it's really important that you have a meeting of minds when you join, big projects that require more than one person's expertise. You can kind of think of us as the crime scene investigators of soil and terrestrial systems. We look at mechanisms and can tell you what happened and maybe give you an idea as to why. So definitely what occurred and maybe some motive. I think that's the best way that I could put it, because we use tools that allow us to trace events in the environment, and then we measure those events. We're able to quantify them and also look back at past research to tell you exactly what happened. So the broader impacts of our study and what we do are basically to inform people of what could possibly happen to forests or to prairies or to agricultural land as climate changes. This is extremely important now, and I feel like getting the community involved, people who may not normally understand what we're discussing because it affects them. People think that what we do doesn't affect them, but it does, because climate change is going to affect everybody. And so one of the ways we do this in our laboratory and our project is to involve undergraduate students, some from very mixed backgrounds. And so far I've had the chance to mentor 3 minority students, 3 women and 2 African American students. And so they may not normally get exposed to climate research or the different feedbacks of research into climate change and what we intend to do later on. And I think this is the best opportunity. I think education and knowledge basically leads to justice in a way. And so the more educated people you have, the better they're gonna be at making decisions in the future for themselves and everyone around them. My program itself, E.S.E, is awesome. Not being biased, maybe I am, but it's been awesome because I feel like all the E.S.E faculty, students, past cohorts have been absolutely helpful in terms of support. I definitely think that anytime that there's a graduate student gathering outside of school, it basically gives you the opportunity to commiserate with other scholars, but also to meet people across other disciplines, because sometimes you need to step away from what you're doing and hear what someone else is doing to maybe get a break. And another thing that's been super helpful for me is the Women in Science program, because it's all women and we basically discuss some of the issues we have as women in science, but also it gives you a network of women who have been successful, just in case you need to figure out some things later on and don't know how to go about it. You get this unique perspective that you may not get from male scientists. I am not discriminating, just saying the perspective. And so that's been extremely helpful. And another thing that's been helpful, it's not a program, but it's my parents. Call your parents. If they're around, call them all the time. It helps.